This is the Oxford EQ, a fully decramped 5-band parametric EQ that uses the exact same algorithms as the legendary OXFR3 digital console. It's renowned for its transparency and its incredibly low noise and distortion. It has high and low pass filters with variable slopes that go up to 36 dBs per octave. One of the great things about the Oxford EQ is it comes with 4 different EQ types. Let's take a look at them. So type 1 sounds a bit like 80s console, a bit like an SSL 4000 for example. Its boost and cut are identical. We call it a reciprocal curve. If we move to type 2, it's similar to type 1, but you'll notice that the cut is a lot tighter than the boost. So this would be very useful for taking out problem frequencies. Type 3 is more of a British sounding curve. It sounds a bit like a Neve console, for example. And type 4 is kind of a mastering EQ, has very, very wide curves, so it's great for gentle fills and cuts, perfect for mastering. And finally, for HD users, there's an optional 5th EQ type, GML EQ. This is modelled on the GML 8200 classic outboard EQ from George Massenburg. Notice the centre frequency on the HF section goes all the way up to 26 kHz. Very, very sweet and smooth sounding. It's good for giving a little air on vocals. So let's have a listen to a vocal right now. I'm going to stick it in shelf and we'll give it, let's say, let's exaggerate and give it like 10 dBs of boost.
The kindergartner's home from school.
So here's without.
I missed your mom, but it was cool. And I learned how to write my name.
Got this lovely sparkle and air to the voice.
All, then runs away.
You almost get used to it. When you switch it out, it sounds a little dull.
Kids outside are raking leaves and jumping in.
Lovely bit of air.
Apple pie.
You can achieve this with the other EQ types, but the GML in particular is very, very sweet sounding. So a couple of controls I've not mentioned yet. The input gain, which is very useful for when I'm boosting a lot like I am here. You'll want to back off the input gain to compensate, otherwise you'll end up clipping. People just think they can boost and boost and get away with it, but of course you're going to overload. So always remember to back off the input gain if you're going to boost a lot. You'll also notice these A-B buttons in the centre, which allow 2 different setups to be literally A-B'd. Because they're interpolated, you can automate between 2 different sounding EQ setups mid-track without clicks or pops. So let's have a listen to this guitar track. We've got 2 different EQ setups and we can A-B between the 2 and see which we like the best. So this is A, using type 2, switch to B. Radically different, using type 1. Very different sounding guitar. We can flick between the 2, see which we like the best. There's no clicks or pops as I switch. Can even automate between the 2. So it's very useful having A-B buttons. Okay, so finally let's have a look at the Oxford EQ as a mastering EQ. We talked earlier about type 4 being the best for mastering because it's got a very wide Q. So I'm just going to play a stereo mix and see what we can do with it. So first off I'm going to use the LF section to boost a little bit. I'm going to use it as parametric actually, around 70-80 Hz. I'll exaggerate a little bit just for demonstration purposes. I probably wouldn't boost this much normally. And I just want to roll off a lot of the real sub to clean it up. Because we're not going to need anything down there anyway. I'm using 18 dBs per octave and just something like that. So I've got a nice lift here, but then it's just rolling off all the inaudible, nasty rumbles. Should be fine. There was a lot of kind of boxiness here. Actually, I'm going to lower that Q because it's very wide. There's a bit of boxiness around this mid-level. I just need to create a bit of space there, so try and find it and reduce this Q. So I'm going to boost it a little bit so I can find it. It's around sort of 450, 500 Hz. Something like that. I'm going to cut that. Exaggerate it again. Make a nice hole in the mid there. Just creating a little bit more space now. Yep, and we're going to use the high mids. Just going to give it a slight subtle boost around 4 or 5k, just not much at all. Again, for demonstration purposes, I'll do a little bit more than I would normally. I only really want to do about half a dB. Okay, so that's now created a little bit of space in the mids, given a nice warm boost in the low. Let's compare it with flat. And now with EQ. Yeah, nicer. A lot nicer. So with very little effort we've managed to clean up the track. Everything has its own space, sounds more rounded. So that's the much loved Oxford EQ, very transparent, natural sounding equaliser. So to summarise, the Oxford EQ is a 5-band fully parametric EQ with variable HF and LF filters which go up to 36 dBs per octave. Its algorithms are taken directly from the Sony OXFR3 digital console. It has 4 different EQ types in one plugin: automatable AB switches, a fully decramped HF response, and ultra low noise and distortion.